the channel for grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the channel for grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the channel for grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello everyone, what is going on? Welcome to Friday Night Live, where we do live mini readings with me. I'm feeling goofy tonight. Hey babe. Okay babe. Welcome you guys. Thanks for being in here. Thanks for watching the replay, and thanks for being here live. I'm excited to get right to it, and I have a surprise for you. The surprise is we're gonna do the giveaway tonight, the April giveaway. So I'm gonna wait a little bit for people to come in, so we can do the giveaway. And there's a lot of names in here, you guys. There's like more than 20 names. So the way you get involved with one of these giveaways, I do these once a month, is you sign up for a Friday night reading. And when you sign up for a Friday night reading, you get on the list for the monthly drawing. And that's how this works. So everybody that signed up for a reading in April, your name is in this jar. And one of you guys is gonna win. Oh my God, I haven't even decided what I haven't even decided what I'm giving away. Last month I gave away a 30-minute free tarot reading. Hello. So I'm going to think about that for a second. I'm going to think about it because I'm not sure what I want to do this month. I do a lot of different offerings, so we'll see what comes to mind. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas. But let's see who's in the chat. We've got Shannon in the chat. We've got Deidre. We've got Cole. Hello. We've got Christina G. Rebecca. Chris. Saad. Hello. Welcome everyone. Hello Kim. Hey Lindsay, how's it going? Jessica V, thanks for being in here. All of you guys. A necklace. Ooh, Rebecca. Oh my God. That's like 100% doable. Ask everybody what they would most want to win. Well, Rebecca just said a necklace, and I'm like, whoa! Like, I think it's a great idea. I do make these beautiful tantric malas, although those are quite pricey. But I have these mini malas too, and I have some other. So maybe a mala or a necklace. Okay, ooh, I'll think about it. I won't have time right now to go over there and like look at it and pick one. Yeah, Rebecca? Then what? I guess it's all guy name. I mean, not guy. I guess it's all girl names. So it's doable. What do you guys think about that? A necklace? Surprise necklace? That actually sounds fun. Hey Kim. Hey Barb. Hey Julene. Hey Paris. All right. So before we do the drawing, I want to tell you guys a little something that I'm really excited about. I think a lot of you guys know, but maybe some of you guys don't know. I am doing putting out, teaching, presenting, I don't know what you would call it, providing an astrology course. Did you guys know I was doing that? Well, if you didn't, I'm going to tell you all about it right now. The course is going to be held on Zoom live on next Tuesday. It's coming up, May 5th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can sign up for it by clicking the link in the description of this video. The class is only $33. What we're going to cover, this is module 1. What we're going to cover is basically the basics of astrology. How astrology works, well, now you know. How astrology works, the astrological ages, the language of astrology, astrology and healing, and many more things. And we're going to go through a sample birth chart. What is a birth chart? We're going to talk about that. So we're going to cover all the basics. So this first class, module 1, is going to be jam-packed, because I need to set you guys up for success and to learn basically the generality, right, the basics of astrology, lay it all out on the table so we know exactly what we have to work with for the next year or so. So every month from this point forward, we will be doing a new module. So module 1 is next week. Now here's the cool thing about this, you guys. If you miss the class, if you can't make the live, but you want to sign up and you really want to do it, it's like literally no, it's not, it's a non-issue, because the course is held on my website. Everyone gets to create their own login and their own password. And when you have that, you have access to everything in the course. Now in the course portal, we're going to call it the portal, you have handouts that you can print out in PDF format. You've got instructions, you've got an introduction video. You're going to have the replay, the actual replay. After we go live, I'm going to upload it onto your portal. And so it's like you're literally signing up for a university class. It's literally what this is. And it's only $33. So you're going to have access to all of this until, you know, forever in the portal with your login and password. Yes, the cost is just for module 1, and I don't know exactly how many modules there are, but the way I've organized the course is for this first module, they're all going to be $33, just FYI. The first module is all the basics, so we lay it all out there. And then from then on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the modules into the different planets, and we're going to talk about each planet individually, but with everything that goes with it. So the planet itself and what it means, the mythology of the planets, the story of the gods, and why that planet is related to that god, why it was named, when it was discovered, all of those things. And then we're going to go into like what that planet represents when it's in each of the signs, what that planet represents when it's in each of the houses. And so each class is going to add on to the next, and little by little you will be able to read your own entire birth chart. And there's so much to it. And then the aspects will be at the end of the course, maybe even level 2, because this is really a level 1 class. So there's at least 10 more modules, Jessica, but that's a great question. But each one will dive deep into understanding this. So you will feel super, super comfortable by the end of the year. And if you want to just get some basic information and you just want to do module 1 and you're good with that, that's great. That's why I separated this way, so you have the ability to choose which modules you want to take and which ones you don't. So that's like the most exciting thing that's happening for me this week. This is something that I've been dreaming about for a long time. And tomorrow I am going to go live around this same time, and I'm going to talk about astrology, and I'm going to talk a little bit about, you know, why I decided to do this course, and also why I think astrology is such a powerful and necessary tool as we move into the age of Aquarius. Because astrology in the Aquarian age rules astrology. If you know anything about Uranus, Uranus is the god of the sky, right? The god of the sky. So you think that the planets, from our point of view, we see the sky and we see the stars and the planets. And so because of that, Uranus basically rules astrology. And in the Aquarian age, if you want to move forward in a spiritual way in your life, you need to understand your birth chart, like front and back, like the back of your hand. The Aquarian age is about understanding who we are and going through the whole process of understanding our gifts and our life purpose and everything in detail, so that we can do our own individual work with this knowledge. And when you do that, that's how you are helping the collective. So that's the whole reason behind why I'm doing this. But I'm going to go live tomorrow. I just want to keep that kind of in a separate video and talk to you guys about astrology and the importance of astrology in the Aquarian age. So join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern to talk about this as well. Jessica says, okay, so we don't need to do it all. Got it. Yes, you don't sign up for one and you commit to all. No, you just sign up one at a time, however you want to do it. And they will be available. So once we finish module 1 and you have a friend that like sees what you're doing and it's like, I want to do it too, then you just be like, yeah, just over there. That's where you get it. That's where you sign up for it. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to see you too, Wolfstar. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so who's ready for the drawing? Let's do this drawing. Lots of info. Cool. I'm glad I'm armed with the new notebook. Highlighters and all. Yes, I love it. Me too. I am actually taking a very advanced course right now. Well, it finished today, but now I'm going to do the whole reviewing process of all of it. And it's a course by Matthias De Stefano, and he actually teaches how sacred geometry is related to your astrology, and how also the 12 dimensions are related to astrology, as well as the 12 chakras are related to your astrological chart, and where, depending on which house, which chakra lands on each house. There's 12 chakras, 12 houses, and so now you know what planet is in what chakra for you, what chakra you're actually working on based on the planets. It's fascinating stuff. I'll be talking a little bit more about that tomorrow. But let's do the drawing. So I'm just going to hold it up. This is all the names from people that got readings in April. So if you want to get on the list for a reading for 2 nights, you make a donation, or you pay, it's not really a donation, but you pay $25 to my PayPal account. The link is in the description, and you get added for the May drawing, which I'm going to do at the end of May, beginning of June. So here we go. Who is going to win the April drawing? And I think it's going to be a necklace, you guys. One of Gobind's special jewelry necklaces. Who wants it? Who wants it? All right, here we go. And the winner is Wendy. Yes. Where is she? Yay, Wendy. Yay, I'm really happy. Okay. We love Wendy. Wendy's one of our moderators. Oh my God, I'm so excited for her. Cool. So Wendy wins one of my very awesome necklaces. And I'll be in contact with you, Wendy, to get your address and all that good stuff. Yay! All right. I'm going to take a moment. I know that's so sweet because I've been thinking about like, what can I do for Wendy? She's like so amazing and she comes in here and like moderates like crazy and like, you know, she doesn't ever ask for anything back. And I really appreciate her. So this is going to be a cool one. This is going to be a good one. I'm really excited for her. Like, oh my God, I think I know exactly what I'm going to get her. See, this is why, Rebecca, thank you for suggesting that. And then it all just like, everything has been so synchronistic lately. It's crazy. I can't even handle. Yeah, no, she's not. No, if she was in here, you would know. She's not in here tonight, which is hilarious because she just won. Deidre, go text her. I'm just kidding. So let me go to PayPal real quick and write down the names of the people. I think we had one from last week. Someone sent me. Is Kristen Miller here tonight? Kristen Miller? I'm curious because I got a donation from you. And I just wanted to make sure that you are in here because you're technically number one. So let's write that down. And then give me a second so I can go get the next names down. Yeah, she does enjoy it. So here we go. I'm not looking at the chat right now because I'm going through my PayPal, so hang in there. And let's see what we got going on. Who's getting a reading tonight? All right, so we've got Christina G. Lindsey Graham and Rebecca. All right, so coming back to, there you go. Yeah, she's gonna be super happy. Thanks, Eric. Okay, so Kristen Miller, if you decide to show up tonight, let me know that you're in the chat. And then, so I guess we can go to Christina G. I'm going to stand up just to make sure I don't hurt my back tonight because I just got a really awesome adjustment. So I don't want to ruin it. So here we go. Christina G., I think you said any messages for love, right? Love messages, so I'm assuming you want a tarot reading. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Angels, Teachers, for being here with us tonight. I would like to ask help clearing the energy of my space and also myself and also the cards that I will be using tonight and all of the equipment that we will be using for all the readings. And I would like to ask for clarity and an open channel so I can receive the messages that need to come through for everyone that signs up for a reading tonight. Oh. All right, many messages of love coming in for you. Yeah. I just said she's got a surprise. Okay. Nice. So what does Christina G need to know in regards to love in her life? And today is also it's like a holiday celebration day. Did you guys know that? Today's called, I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like Beltane, something like that. I can't quite say it, but Beltane is how normal people say it, but it's not actually pronounced like that. Beltane, something like that. Oh my God. It's a Celtic festival, and it's all for the festival is the celebration, or a Celtic ceremony, but it's a celebration of where the exact midpoint between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. This is the exact center point right now. So it's a significant day because it means that there's a lot of fiery energy and a lot of passionate energy and creative energy brewing. Things in the world are like really flourishing. I'm sure you've seen like outside, like the plants and the flowers and everything. Everything's like blooming. It's like we're very much into the spring, and it is a very powerful time of the year where we're going to start to feel summer coming. And it's a very, very exciting time. This holiday, and then the holiday called Samhain, which is in October, at the end of October, and that is the one that's connected to Halloween. A lot of the holidays and even the Christian traditional celebrations, they all come from these ancient Celtic traditions. And so, but when you look up the meaning of like the original reason, because today's called May Day, right? It's funny because the May Day is like the day of like the Virgin Mary and stuff. And the reason it's funny is because originally, like we think of the Virgin Mary as like the virgin, and the way that like the church has, portrayed the woman, it's like, she has to be pure and she has to be clean and all this stuff. But Beltane, or Beltane, because I don't want to butcher it, is actually like the holiday where it's a very like passionate, creative, sensual, sexual energy. And in back in the day, and probably not even back in the day, probably right now too, there's people, they used to go out into the woods to have sex. Sorry, I didn't say to make love. And then if there was a baby conceived on this day, the baby would be considered a gift from the goddess. So, I mean, complete opposite, right? Like purity virgin, and then like, making love, they're like opposites. So it's just funny to think about where these things come from and how much they've been sort of hijacked. Oh my God. So anyways, moving on. Yes, please. Good. I'm able to join. You just got home. Hey, Rosie, welcome in. Okay. Oh my God. That was really funny. But it's really beautiful, you guys. It's really beautiful. Yeah. Tell me about it. This is powerful stuff. Okay. So let's look at this. Let's look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay, so here is what's Lindsay. Well, you guys want to know something really cool? So I'm going to do your reading, Christina. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have your cards right here. I'm getting ready. While I talk, I get ready. This is a crazy Gemini thing. So I'm working with a friend of mine. Actually, I did a Conversations with Spirit with her. Her name is Tara Wild, and she's the one that has all the knowledge of the Celtic traditions. And she's just like beautiful being. She sings beautifully. She plays her drum, and it's just amazing. She has her own community of people interested in all those ceremonies and learning about the ancestors and our connection with the earth, because all of it, basically the Celtic year is all about earth, Pachamama, the seasons, right? The changes in the seasons and like moving, the shifting of the cycles. And it's such a beautiful thing to know and understand those cycles, because we live them all the time without even knowing. But there's a way to connect with these things, and it's found in our ancient wisdom. And so me and her are working together, and cross your fingers that this all works out and it comes out beautifully. And I can see it already. It will work out. It's just going to be amazing. But me and her are working on a project together, and right now it's like in the beginning phase of creation. But it's basically a yearly calendar that includes basically all of the new and full moons, and all of the Celtic celebrations of the year. And it's got the information of like the astrology of all of it and the meaning of all of it, and like different little exercises and stuff that you can do. I'm sure it'll evolve, but for now, that's like our working idea. But I am so excited because I've never done anything like this before, and it's like going to be like the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm basically helping to write a book. It's so cool, and it's going to be coming out at the end of October for Samhain. So fingers crossed, it all goes smoothly. But that's what I'm working on. It's one of the things I'm working on. I'm really, really excited about it. Okay, here we go. Christina, we start with the Lover's card. I think that's so amazing. The Lover, let me see if you can see it better if I put it closer. So the Lover's card is, well, it's the Gemini card, right? But it's also the card of relationships, but also the card of like when you learn to be in a different relationship with yourself, when you learn about like a different level of being, a different level of awareness in relationships. Now, things are moving really fast for you right now when it comes to love. It's beautiful that that card came out first, because that was your question. What's happening with love? Okay, well, what's happening with love is like something really amazing. So something is moving really fast. I feel like the energy is somehow speeding up in this realm. Maybe you're moving towards finding someone that sort of matches, you know, your identity. Now, I don't know if you're dating or anything like that, or if you're actually in a relationship, but this feels like things in the realm of love, in the realm of relationships, are actually kind of accelerating in some way. And that could mean that you're moving towards finding this person because you did get the Lover's card, or it could mean that you yourself are evolving, and so you're kind of like you're maturing in a way that opens you up to what you really want in life, right? Because don't we all want the best sort of relationships that we want for ourselves? And I feel like for the readings that I've done for you, I think that you, I know that you have been doing a lot of work. You've been doing a lot of internal work, and there comes a time where when we choose to move forward, and when we choose to take that step and face our fears, which I feel like you have done, and take care of ourselves, that's when you least expect it, because you're like so focused on something else. Like that's when it happens. Somehow this energy is accelerating for you. There's a couple of cards here that are a little bit interesting. And what I think the lesson is for you is it's a lesson in learning how to, it's almost like, well, let me show you the card. The card is the Four of Crystals, or the Four of Pentacles. And when we think of the Four of Pentacles, we think of, it's connected to like greed. It's connected to like holding on and not being able to let go, not being able to release. And what I think this card is saying, because right after it comes the Six of Wands, which is a card of leadership and stepping into leadership. I think that the lesson for you is like, it's fast approaching a moment where you will have to ultimately learn the ultimate way to like let go and release. And what's going to happen is you're going to free yourself of all those binds that you feel like you've been kind of attached to, and you're going to be able to see things that you've never been able to see before. The Eight of Swords is being blinded and also feeling trapped. But you are stepping into leadership in this sense. And leadership doesn't mean that you have to be like, what do we think about normally when we think about leadership? We think about someone who is like maybe a persona who has influence, but this isn't the kind of leadership I'm talking about. The kind of leadership I'm talking about is the kind where, like I mentioned in the beginning of the reading, you step into your own healing, you step into your own journey, you trust yourself, you begin to focus on all the right things, because when you focus on yourself, that's when things change and things shift. And then once that happens, you you not only expand and open yourself up to new possibilities in your life, but you also, like this Eight of Wands is saying, you accelerate this process. So you're going through the process right now, and all of this is allowing you to step into a place of leadership where you actually feel really good and really confident about yourself. For some reason, this seems similar to the reading I did, was it last week? I feel like the same message is kind of coming through in a way. It would be really crazy if it was a lot of the same similar cards that from the last reading I did for you. But I feel like right now, when it comes to love, maybe this is like right now, this is still a time for you to continue doing what you're doing, to continue focusing on yourself. And once sort of the veil, because the Eight of Swords is like there's still a little bit of a blinder on. Once the blinder is fully out, which will only happen when you go through that threshold of like the ultimate letting go, like the final release, like the final cutting of the rope and disconnecting from anything like past habits, negative habits, things like that. The final cut of the rope will free you fully. But I feel energy of like there is a freedom on the other side that's fastly approaching, but you have to just keep doing the work that you're doing. Does that bring you some do you have any questions about it? What I want to do is I'm going to pull a couple of the Moonology cards for you too. Oh, there we go. 2 of them came out. That was quick. All right. So the first one is the full moon in Leo. Don't let pride get in your way. The full moon in Leo is also about that leadership. And when you do become a leader, you don't, like, your pride does not get in the way. So there's a lesson here too about letting go of that's connected to the 4 of Crystals. Let go of the pride, let go of the need for things to be, a certain way. The more you hold on, the less you'll get there. The farther away you'll be. And then the full moon in Capricorn, which is really beautiful too, the end of a tough cycle approaches. And that's the feeling I'm getting from the reading, especially from the Lover's card and the 8 of Wands. So the end of a tough cycle approaches, and you have to remember, don't let your pride get in your way. You have to keep kind of riding that wave that you're riding right now that's really helping you in life. So, awesome. All right, so next we have Lindsay, unless Kristen Miller came into the room. Right, Rosie? Yes. Star Called Oracle. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for everybody for being in the chat and for hanging out with us. If you want to get a reading tonight, the link is in the description of this video. It's $25 to my PayPal. You're welcome, Christina. So I haven't seen Kristen Miller. If you guys see her, then shout it out. But for now, we're going to move on to Lindsey Graham. Okay, so Roberto, energy check-in. What do my guides and ancestors most want me to know about him and the situation? Okay, cool. Let's check it out. What does Lindsay need to know about Roberto right now? What's going on with that situation? Okay, thanks, Shannon. What else does she need to know? Can we get one more card, please, for Lindsay regarding the Roberto situation? Alrighty then. Okay, I mean, these cards are a little bit intense. Let's just go right into it. It's an interesting feeling. There's a lot going on. That's the first thing I'm going to say. It feels a little bit karmic in a sense. It feels like there's a lesson here that's needing to be learned. I also feel like things can feel a little bit foggy, like maybe the whole truth isn't being told. I feel that energy as well. There is a new beginning happening here. It has to do with inner child healing work, and also about finding balance. So here we go. Here's the first card is the Five of Crystals, or the Five of Pentacles, which the Five of Pentacles is someone who feels a lack in their life, who feels like a beggar in a sense, who feels not 100% like they're in the right place. They might feel lonely, they might feel sick, they might feel destitute. I feel like this could also represent some kind of spiritual impoverishment, like there's something missing. There's something missing. And I do feel like this represents you right now, that you are in a place where you're trying to figure things out when it comes to love and relationships. And there's also, I just noticed something really interesting in the little circles in this card. There's like a cat and there's a dog. I just think that's interesting. That's crazy. I remember you telling me about the dog situation. So I feel like right now, basically, let's just keep it simple. I think you're feeling a little bit lonely right now. And I think you're trying to figure things out for yourself, because you want to know what's ahead. You want to know what's in the future of this relationship, if there is a relationship. And in another sense, because there's something that feels like it's missing in your life and you can't quite put your finger on it. The next card that you get is the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. And this card actually represents finding balance between the mind and the heart. It's finding that balance. It's finding the connection between the mind and the heart. It's knowing that we can think and try to figure things out in a logical way all we want, but unless we bring our heart into it and let the heart kind of lead the way, because when the heart doesn't lead the way, the mind makes a mess out of things. I know this firsthand because I'm a Gemini. So when you're not allowing our heart to lead the way, our mind can really mess things up. And I think you're learning this balance right now. You're learning the balance between, you're learning to drop into your heart and let go so much of what's happening up here, like how you process, what you think about it, how, if it makes sense or not, so like the whole logical process of thinking about it and critiquing it and analyzing it, that is what you're learning to, this situation is kind of asking you to let go of that and drop into your heart center. The next cards are all of these are kind of intense. So you have Ten of Swords. And this is the card that marks it's the ending of a cycle. This is definitely the ending of a cycle, the beginning of a new cycle. It feels like a death. Like it really does feel like a death, because it is a transitional period from something that did not work in the past that has to be fully released. And the reason I feel like the whole truth isn't being told right now, or at least you're not seeing the whole thing, And I think it has to do with the mind. Again, we come back to the mind. I feel like your thoughts are getting in the way, because you do have the 10 of Swords and then the 8 of Swords, which is feeling trapped. It's like not being able to see, and the swords represent the mind. So there's something is fogging it. And then you get the 7 of Cups, which is the card of illusion. It's like Neptune. It's like there's like something trying to escape. Something doesn't want to be seen. Something is what's the word? It's needing healing. Something is needing healing right here. And so I feel like it's interesting, because you asked, what's the ultimate thing happening here? And the last card you get is the 6 of Cups, which is about the past. But it's more specifically about childhood, healing the inner child, reminiscing, being nostalgic about the past. But this is also healing. This is the card that to me brings in this, like, okay, the reason all this is going on is because there's a healing of some karmic cycle that's ending. And that's the energy of what's happening with the situation. It's the ending of a cycle, and a new one is wanting to begin. A new one is wanting to start. But you need to clear the fog. You need to clear the fog. The fog, to me, exists right here in the mind. It exists in the swords. The fog is your eyes are covered and you can't see. Not only are you blinded, but you're also fogged. So you have to, there's something that you're not seeing. And once you discover what you're not seeing, you will finally step into that healing path. And that's actually, it makes sense that that's the energy of what's going on here, because there's a wall. That's the energy. These cards represent a wall. It's like, I can't see past the wall. Even though I want to, I can't quite see past it. So what you have to realize is, you have to ask yourself, what is the wall? What is that wall? And when you realize what that wall is, then you'll be able to move beyond it. Or maybe choose not to. Well, that was a really intense reading. Thanks for signing up for a reading. Sorry I had to give you such kind of gnarly news. It all resonates. I do feel like there's something not being seen and being... Okay. Well, that makes me feel good. At least it resonates, right? So we've got Rebecca. Yes, the list is still open, Raindrop. Rebecca is next. What would you like a reading on? You can pick from a natal chart reading, or a transit reading, or it was really intense, or a tarot and oracle reading. As we get Rebecca's question up, Lindsay, I'm going to actually pull a Moonology card for you, because I feel like that was really intense, and we need to kind of like, what's a more in-depth message for you, things to work on in the emotional realm. Oh wow, this is beautiful. So you got the new moon, a new start is coming. Look at this beautiful card. A new start is coming, and then a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. Love it. Love it. Okay, Rebecca. Tarot, please. Okay, should I? And I know there's a couple more people getting on the list, so just give me a second. After Rebecca, we'll update the list. Should I rent or buy? I'm so confused and in a time crunch. Need to have a place to live for me and my kids by mid-June. Are you looking at places, or like, are you trying to decide? I'll just start pulling cards, but I guess the thing is, like, in terms of buying, Are you actually looking at places? I know, I love that, Lindsay. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, what does Rebecca need to know? Should she rent or buy? Should she rent or buy? I'm going to pull some tarot, but I think I'm also going to use some, wow, 5 of Cups. What's going on there? I'm going to use some astrology cards too for you. 7 of Wands. Okay, I like that. Okay, you've been looking at both. Okay. So let's get one more card. Okay, that works. All and started the pre-approval process to buy, just kind of scared to do that right now. Yeah, right. It's kind of funny. Okay, let me just verify a couple things here. Yep, agree. Wow, this is quite interesting. Okay, okay. Let me just go through this, okay? This is kind of crazy. So, the first card you get is that 5 of Cups, okay? So, the 5 of Cups is all about, it's grief. It's like grief. It's a card that comes up when there's something that I feel like there's a lot of pressure. I feel like pressure and sadness. She whistles high. Pressure and sadness. So like, I think the whole situation is just like really weighing on you, and I feel this. I feel it in your heart, and I think there's the change that's having to, like, that's being thrown on you, especially during this kind of crazy time that we're in, is making it rather difficult for you to make like a clear choice, because grief like fogs us, right? Grief makes it so that we can only be in grief. You can't do two things at the same time, you know, like with grief, it's like you got to feel it all the way and you got to let it go, or it's just going to linger there and it will not leave you alone. And the next card you get, the 7 of Wands, means that you're capable of holding your own during this time. And I think what this card shows is your strength through this process. You're looking over the horizon at all the possibilities, and I know, and I can feel your strength. I can definitely feel your strength. This isn't something that is like, it's very palpable, I guess, in a way. When I think of you, when I see you, it's very palpable. You are a very strong woman. And so there's no doubt in my mind that you have what it takes to make this decision. And I feel like this message is kind of giving you a little bit more clarity, maybe into the energies of the decision that you're having to make. The 7 of Crystals, interestingly enough, or the 7 of Pentacles, is the card where you are, it symbolizes you reaping the rewards of your hard work and your effort. It's almost like it gives you, so if you see the image in this card, she's sitting here in meditation, she feels very calm. Like there's a very calm energy to this card. I don't feel stress in this card. Yes, she's definitely growing with this experience. Yeah, you're welcome, Rebecca. But it's almost like you have a moment to pause and think about where you're going. this card is actually urging you to take a moment to pause and think about where you are going. Because it's like, stop and think about it. That's what the card says. Because right next to it, 7 of Swords. I mean, and this is crazy because the 7 of Swords is like someone's stealing something from you, right? That's like the energy. It's like a thief that symbolizes betrayal and unreliability. And a card that also can mean that your plans may not be as well thought out as you think they are. You may be setting yourself up for failure. Like, whoa. So what you need to do is the last 2 cards, the Ace of Wands and the Magician. So you have to use your passion, right? I know, and not really what I want to hear either. Use your passion. The Wands is the fire element. The fire signs, what they do is they help you. There's 2 things that fire can do, right? It can light the spark needed to take action, right? When we think about the Agni, right, like our inner fire, it's in the solar plexus. This is the power of the center for willpower. This is your strength, right? Power is the fire element of the Wands. Power is, it comes from deep within. And so it can do 2 things. Fire can activate a desire to move forward. At the same time, fire also destroys. So fire can also be the symbol of you going through a powerful transformation, like a transformational fire. And the only way to really come to the conclusion of what it is that you need to do is to become the alchemist, the one that controls it all, the one that has all of the 4 elements available to him or her. You've got all 4 elements represented here. So the Magician is the alchemist. He's Mercury. He has all of the elements and he creates the magic. He puts in the right ingredients of each little thing and he creates the magic. What this reading is basically pointing towards is like you have to, just like, this is kind of similar to the reading I just did. It's about dropping in. When you sit in silence, when you're quiet, when no one is speaking, when nothing's making a sound, what's the answer? When you're silent, what is the answer? You got to stop thinking about it because your thoughts are running away with you, right? Your thoughts are like the 7 of Swords. They're gone. They're not helping you make this decision. So you need to stop and sit and let God in. There is I can't remember the exact quote, but it's one of my favorite quotes from Yogi Bhajan. And it's basically, let go and let God. I think that's what it is. Let go and let God. I know that right now it seems like we need to think about what we're going to do. And you do, in a sense, need to think about it. You do need to think about, is this the right choice, right? Is buying this place the right thing? But at the same time, if you don't listen, like very deeply listen, literally to sit in meditation and listen, the answer is there. Like, I feel like you already know, Rebecca. I feel like you already know, and you're like reaching out for someone to tell you what to do. And you may have to just let yourself cry, right? The Five of Cups. You might have to just let yourself freaking cry it out, let out all that frustration, and in that moment, that's when the answer will come. And even if the answer is, you know what? I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to let it come. Even if the answer is right now, I don't have the answer. And I'm okay with that. Because the more we pressure ourselves, the more stressed out we get, the harder it is to make a decision. The right decision will never be made. The most successful person in a whole room full of business people, the most successful person is the most relaxed. Remember that. I'm going to leave it with that. That was cool. Very cool. All right, let's go check PayPal real quick. I won't be looking at the chat for a second. Okay, we're adding Julene to the list and Patricia R. You're welcome, Rebecca. Yes, Shari, yes. Ooh, sorry about all those crazy noises. I got Five of Cups in repeat readings months ago, and it was an emotional time, but fast forward now, best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, agreed. You're welcome. So we've got Julene next. Julene. Has a lot going on. Everybody hang in there. There's a lot going on. We're going to be okay though. Like, people survived the Great Depression. Kind of rough, but they survived it, and then life was good again, you know? Is there a Jolene song? Okay, so I still need you to put your information in the chat, Julene. You want a transit reading, but I still need all your info. Emphasis on nodes changing on the 5th and on anything else significant at this time. Okay. So, I don't think I saved your chart, but I can check. But I don't think I did. I don't usually do that. It is in my Word document. Yeah, I don't have it saved, so. Julene. Okay. 6465. 5:44 a.m. in Phoenix. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to share this with you guys in a moment. Nice. Cassandra. Okay, make sure. Okay, well, I do need the okay, well, let's have a look. Do you do group chat like this for private parties? I have a group of ladies that would really enjoy and could log in. That you mean they would want me to do private readings for them? Why don't you email me, Cassandra? Because I wouldn't. It would be something that I would do on Zoom probably, and then send all your friends the Zoom link, and then we can do it on there. Like that's something that I could do. But we'd have to talk about it with more detail privately. But that's a really cool idea. Is anyone new here? Jai's Mini Reads. Thank you. Shannon. Oh, cool. Star Gold Oracle. This is exciting. Okay, so here we go. Julien's charts. You want to know about the nodes and you know anything specific. So my email is jaigobind@channelforgrace.guru. Okay, so first thing I see is that you have the North Node transiting your first house and the South Node transiting your seventh. I know, it's like epic idea. It's amazing. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. Private astrology parties. So on May 5th, like on Tuesday, as you guys know, the nodes are going to move into the North Node here will move into Gemini, and the South Node will move into Sagittarius. Now you have Sagittarius at the cusp of your 7th house, and you have Gemini. Obviously, you're a Gemini rising. So what does this mean for you personally? So the North Node, and remember the nodes move like backwards than all the planets. But the nodes is going to go from Cancer into Gemini instead of from Cancer to Leo. It goes like backwards, okay? Not that that really matters, but half of the journey of the node in your chart is basically half your first house is, God, I need to switch this thing. Hang on, I really need the okay, I can't get the little pencil guy to pop up for me to be able to. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, anyways, so half of your first house is Cancer, and the other half is Gemini, which means that for the first half of the transit, or at least that's going through the North Node transiting to your first house of self and of your identity, of who you are, the first half of that transit, you've been learning how to love yourself. You've been learning how to love yourself more. And the second half of that transit through your house, you're going to learn what Gemini learns. It's time for you to let yourself get curious about life and let yourself go on adventures. Like, let your curiosity drive you forward. Now, when it comes to the South Node, so when the South Node transits a house, it's almost like there's a transition that happens. That house gets transformed. The cup gets emptied, but then it's empty so you can fill it back up. And this is in your 7th house of relationships, which is opposite your 1st house. So in this house of relationships, the same thing, you've got half Sagittarius, half Capricorn. So part of the transit of the South Node is going to be in Capricorn, and part of it is going to be in Sagittarius. So until now, you've been letting go of things in regards to your relationships that have to do with old ways of being in relationship. And you're going to start to embrace a completely new way of being in relationship. And it'll be one that helps you understand and use all of the knowledge and the wisdom that you've gained, because Sagittarius is knowledge and wisdom. So all of the knowledge and the wisdom that you've gained is going to be used now. And so you're learning to focus more on you right now. Basically what this transit means, you're learning to focus more on you, and you're learning to let go of things that didn't work out in terms of relationships. It's a big deal. Let's see what else I see. When this means that are you 55 now? You have a similar alignment to someone's chart that I'm doing. So, and this is the reason I'm saying this, is because I was just, someone who was also born 1965, and they have a very similar thing. They have, Saturn conjunct Chiron and Pluto conjunct Uranus. You have Mars right there too. With this conjunction here, the Saturn and Pluto one, also means that your life ebbs and flows with what's going on in the collective, so what's going on in the collective really affects you. So what's going on right now with Pluto, who is actually in Capricorn, he's like destroying old ways of being so that you can become new again. It's literally what this means. And these transits are going to be affecting you majorly in your 55th year. So there's a lot of changes coming up, a lot of shifts coming up for you. Just be aware of that. There's a lot of change and shifting, almost like a little bit of a tower moment. Anyone really with Gemini rising is having a little bit of a tower moment, or maybe a big tower moment. It just depends on where you're at spiritually. But there's a lot of lessons that are being learned and things being released right now. So I hope that resonated with you. Oh well. Anyways, I think that should give you some insight. Let's X this out. Come back to me. Well, there you go. I'm a Gemini rising too, you guys. A lot of changes, a lot of shifting. Yes, it's just very good. Change is always good. Change is always good. It's kind of crazy sometimes, but it's good. So we've got Patricia Rodriguez, and I'm going to check the PayPal real quick just in case. And we have added Chanel to the list. Actually, it's not Patricia. Excuse me. I incorrectly did this, and Paris should be in between Julene and Patricia. I apologize for that. So this is now Paris' turn. and then it's Patricia, and then it's Chanel. Thank you guys so much for signing up for a reading with me tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope are you guys having fun? Are you enjoying yourselves? Kind of nice to be able to watch something on TV. Okay. So Paris, since Patricia just put up her question, do you mind if I just do her question? And yeah, let me just go ahead and do Patricia's question, and then we'll do you, Paris, okay? Okay, so this is, I'm thinking of volunteering for the No One Dies Alone program. Would this be a good fit for me? Okay. Is the No One Dies Alone program a good fit for Patricia? Thanks, Star Gold. What does Patricia, is this a good fit for Patricia, the No One Dies Alone program? Patricia, the answer is yes, but I'm going to keep pulling cards. Let's see what else we get. Ooh, that one was like... Wow. Okay, I need 2 more cards, please. Wow. Yes, thank you, Star Called. Do you have do you do readings on your channel? All right. These are epic cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas. Okay, but the answer is yes, this is a good fit, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay? The first card, what did I say? The first card is the Justice card. Sorry, it's hard to tell, but he's holding a sword. It's pointing down. The balance, you see the balance at the bottom? Oh no, this is a beautiful reading. Oh, okay. So with that card, okay, when I think of that card, I think of like, there's a rebalancing going on. This is like a rebalancing energy. The program itself represents like justice itself. Like it represents, helping people find balance in their lives and helping them through this like powerful transition. The next major arcana cards that you get are the Moon, which is all about your emotions, your sacred divine feminine, your ability to nurture, your ability to hold space, right? The Moon goddess, the high priestess, like this is what you carry. This is what you bring, what you would bring to this. Not only that, then you get the Universe card. And at the top, there's that sacred geometry right there. You've got the tetrahedron. I believe that's also an icosahedron. The sacred geometry, which is, this is the other realm, right? This is the beyond. The universe is like where these people go. They transition into this other realm, right? The higher dimensions. And what's happening is, what you're also bringing to it is the Strength card. And the Strength card is, it's not only, because like, here's the thing. For some people, this kind of energy, right? Like being in the space where people are crossing over, can be really scary for some people if they're afraid of death. The truth is that when you're here's the thing, when you're with people and you watch people cross over, it's not scary. Like, there's nothing scary about it. But people are afraid. But you bring this strength to it. You're able to hold space. You're able to bring this like powerful presence with you. Because I can feel it in you, Patricia. I mean, like, I'd known you from like the courses you took with me, right? So you have this like essence about you that's very grounded, and it's very loving, and it's very like, it knows itself, it's sure of itself. That's what like I see in this reading. And the next card you get is the Page of Cups, and it's such a beautiful card because the cups, again, it's like the moon. They're about the emotions. It's the water element, and the person, the image in this picture, is bringing you a message of love. They're bringing you, the Page of Cups brings you a message of love. Hey, Wendy, and I can see you receiving this message of love by doing this work. So when you come all the way around, what you realize is like, well, then you're here. You're the Two of Swords, and you're standing in front. Literally, one sword represents one direction and the other sword represents the other direction. And you have to choose between the two. So what are you going to choose? I feel like love is the answer, right? Like, love is the answer, which to me, this reading is a yes. But everything I just said, just take it in, be with it, and see what comes from it, what comes from within after hearing these words. But this is a freaking beautiful message. Like, I believe after seeing these cards that you are a very good fit for this. But you are the one, that Two of Swords, that has to make that choice. You know what I mean? No one else can tell you yes, no, all that stuff. So there you go. So Wendy, guess what? You won. And you won one of my necklaces, one of my malas. Rebecca suggested it. So we're just going to talk about it, okay? Aww. You're welcome, Patricia. You're welcome. So we've got Paris next, and I think someone else got on the list, so I'm going to go check real quick. The moon is intense tonight. I started thinking about others' wrongdoings and became very upset, and then saw 9/11 on the clock. Yeah, don't do that. I'm going to go check the PayPal real quick. So we added Faye and then Stephanie P to the list. Yeah, you're welcome. I would love to check on my DM again, but since nothing is going on in the 3D, still I would like to know what is going on in the other dimensions. Okay, cool. Let's check it out. Are you kidding me? Okay. Sure. That's just wild. actually really like that you asked this question. Okay, we're gonna leave that right there. Okay, this is quite something. Quite something. Wow. So here's the cards. The first card you get, the Akashic Records. Okay, the first 4 cards like fell out. And that's why I said, are you kidding me? Because this is the card that was right on top of all of them. Akashic Records. It's hard to see my card. There we go. That's better. Right, the portal, Akashic Records. Okay, so you asked what's happening in the other dimensions. So let us walk through the door of the Akashic Records and find out. The sun. Okay? You guys you're learning about yourself. You're discovering who you are. And in that discovery of who you are, in understanding who like what is going on energetically on the other side, there's a very fast moving energy, the Chariot, that is taking you to a space of transformation. So what's going on the other side is that you guys are changing. There's a lot of work. It's almost like what I feel is like there's a lot of work happening behind the scenes right now. This is the Star Child Tarot, I believe, by, oh, what's her name? Anyways, I can tell you later, but I think you should be able to find it. But I see like what's happening behind the scenes is there's a lot of change, a lot of shifting, a lot of realizing, a lot of connecting. The sun is the soul, right? The sun represents the soul. So the soul is like gathering its strength. It's finding itself. It's going through this epic transformation. It's beautiful. And the balance is the balancing between the head and the heart. The balancing between the mind and the emotions. The masculine and the feminine. 2 of Wands. Masculine and the feminine. Like balancing themselves into one. And the last card is the 6 of Crystals, or the 6 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Pentacles is basically, this card can represent an energy of like a lot of wealth, like a philanthropist, someone that helps, that is of service, charity, giving, generosity. So like everything's fine. Like everything's good. I mean, everything's more than good. It's freaking great. Everything's great. There's a lot of movement, a lot of like, there's a lot going on in the other world, in the other dimensions. Like, don't for a second feel like it's still, because it ain't. A lot going on. That was intense. Good night. Okay, I'll be waiting for that email. Because it sounds like a great idea. Nice. I love that. That was an awesome reading. So next we have Chanel. Chanel. Woo! I just cracked my back doing that. That was quite intense. Yeah. No, I mean like, that was like exploding with energy. How do I move forward with my calling to be a healer and a teacher? I like these questions, you guys. How do I move forward with my calling to be a healer and a teacher? Okay, how does Chanel move forward with being a healer and a teacher? Oh, thank you, Shannon. Thank you. How does Chanel move forward with her calling to be a healer and a teacher? What does she need to do to move forward in this direction? Can you give her some guidance regarding this situation? The list is still open, you guys. If you want to get a reading, $25 to my PayPal. Link is in the description. And don't forget to sign up for the astrology class. Module 1, the basics of astrology, happening Tuesday evening. Whoa. Tuesday evening. What else does she need to know? If you want to learn astrology, it's happening, everybody. It's happening. Okay, then. I know, me either, Wendy. The universe is calling you. This is definitely a calling. This is definitely a calling. Your soul is ready for this new beginning. And maybe, okay, so I'm gonna go through the cards because I want to tell you the whole message, and then when we get to the last card, it's gonna be like, whoa, like a little bit of a shock. But let's see. The first card you get is perspective. Perspective. This is a major arcana. You actually got 3 major arcanas. So these are the main themes of the reading. But perspective. So what your question was, what do I need to do to how do I move forward with my calling to be a healer and a teacher? You have to like sort of, in a sense, like open up the mind, open up your mind, because what the universe requires of you is to go through a very powerful transition. The Knight of Swords is it's an energy that comes charging. It's fast. It knows where it's going. It knows where it wants. And I love the way that this card represents the Knight of Swords, because she has the sword and she's literally about to step into a portal. So there's a changing perspective that needs to happen. You need to allow yourself to fully dive in. I mean, that's the message. You got to go, and you got to keep moving forward. So what is it that you want to do? What are the action steps that need to happen for you to actually move forward? That's something that you need to start making a list. You need to start thinking about what are, if you need to study certain things, if you need to take certain courses, like you got to make a list of all the things that you need in order to make this happen. That's one of the steps. But you have to like go, you have to be all in, because the next card is the Sun, and this is your soul. So yes, this is a calling, and yes, your soul is here, ready to go for it. And this is a new beginning. It's a new beginning, because it's your passion, the Ace of Wands. It's your passion being activated. So you need to be willing to start over in some ways. And it is the Ace of Cups, which is your emotions. And this could be a new beginning in love. But it's in healing. It's a new beginning in healing. And then the King of Cups is all about becoming the master and balancing your emotions. You see, is the serenity in this image? This is very Pisces. He looks like a very Pisces man. But this is like, it's love that overflows from you diving deep to search for the answers. So say yes. You need to say yes to the next step. But here's the catch. And here's the last step. The next step is actually the Tower. So what you need to do to move forward is to let go and release of anything in your life that does not serve this purpose, this calling. And you need to fully choose the calling. That's the answer. So if you're still diddle-daddling, right? I don't mean that in a mean way. But if you're still like focused on other things and not 100% focused, the universe is like, that's not going to work. We need you all in. We need you to commit. So the minute you fully commit, you'll see all that coming at you. Yeah, it's gnarly. I was like, whoa, that Tower card at the end. Okay. Okay. We got Faye. Faye is next. And I don't think anyone else. Faye and Stephanie, but then let me just check real quick. Yeah, we got Faye and Stephanie, and if I missed you, please let me know. Wendy, I'm so excited. I think I know exactly which one I'm going to give you. Ooh. So you can add it to your collection of epic crystals and things, and you'll be able to like wear it around your neck and be like, what is one energetic effect that you need right now in your life? And then that will help me choose the one, the fifth element. No, well, I'll pick it, but you tell me what do you need right now in your life, or you want me to just intuitively pick it? Okay. Who's looking like a Zen goddess? Okay, Patricia. Good night, Shannon. How fun! Ooh, okay. So, what did you just say? Love. Is that what you say? You can't believe you just said? Get out, because I had an image in my mind, and there was rose quartz in there. This is perfect. It's actually perfect, because I was thinking about like I'm like, God, I gotta do something for the girls, man. They like come in here and they just throw it down, you know, and they never ask for anything in return. And I was just like so appreciative of you guys helping moderate in the chat. And then you won. And then Rebecca's like, you should give away a necklace. And I was like, oh my God, yes, you need to do this. Out of control. All right, let me pull up your chart. Let's get it on. All right, here we go. 5/9/1995. 7:15 p.m. Ooh, I just pulled up your chart. You're doing the class. Quilpue, is that how you say it? Quilpue? How come I never heard of that town? Fellow South American. May 9th, 1995, 7:15 p.m. Go. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me check this out for a second. Hey, John, Mystery Science, welcome in. Sun squaring Pluto right now, like, what? Yeah, right? Dude. He comes carrying news from the beyond. Wait, what? I don't get it. Oh, it's okay, Stephanie. Don't worry about it. But just copy and paste it later when it's your turn. So we're doing your reading right now for Faye, but I just want to look at your natal chart for a second before I actually pull up your chart with the transits. Because you did say you want a transit reading, right? Just want to hear if you see anything particularly interesting. I've never had one of these. Oh, cool. Okay. First of all, anything significant in your natal chart? You do have a grand trine in Earth. That's pretty cool. That means abundance. You have a yod pointing towards Mars in the 10th house. Oh, that's kind of cool. You have Mars conjunct your midheaven. Mars in Leo. So midheaven's in Leo. Conjunct, and then Mars is right there. 22, 23 degrees. Pluto in the 12th. North node in Scorpio. South node Taurus. North node in the 12th house. That's cool. I have North node in the 12th house too. These are just my own personal notes. Just give me a second. Jupiter in the 1st. Sagittarius rising. Sun in Taurus. Moon in Virgo. That's quite a lot of Earth. But then you've got that fire rising, which gives you the fire element. And then you've got Venus in Aries. Whoo. Okay, so I'm going to add the transit, and then I'm going to share the screen with you guys. Why can't I see this? Give me a second. I just gotta figure out how to get the little. Just wonder why it's not happening. Well, it works, so we're just gonna go with it. Let me share the screen Sorry, guys. All right, so here's your chart. Sorry that took forever and a day. You don't have a mala, Wendy? Yeah, this is my Apple Pencil. And my iPad Pro, which Dawn just finally let me have. Okay, so major stuff. So there's a lot of, how old are you? Sorry, I don't do math in my head. She was born in 1995. How old is she? You're like young. You're like as old, I think, as my cousin. One of my cousins. But the first thing I want to point out, which is obvious, so I'm going to go with like the outer planets first, and then I'm going to go with the inner planets. But let's look at Jupiter and Pluto down here at the bottom. You should be able to see it. Unless this... Hang on, I think it disconnected. Oh my God, it appeared! Woo woo! Okay, so here we go. There is Jupiter and Pluto. Love that year, Jupiter and Sag. Oh, that year was Jupiter was in Sagittarius. 24. You're 24. Okay. Yeah, you're like my cousin's age. Okay, so the first thing that's happening is there's, I don't know what your job is or what your work is, but there's a lot going on in your second house. The conjunctions, the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that happened in January happened in your second house, as well as now the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. So this is a lot of changing and shifting in the realm of your like finances, how you make money, and also like the material world, like your possessions. So there's a lot of shifting, a lot of changing in that area of your life. You might be like changing jobs, you might be like losing jobs, but like new ones are coming. There's a lot of lessons in the realm of finances in your life right now. That's pretty major. Let's see what else I see. You have Neptune conjunct Saturn right now, conjunct your Saturn. So transiting Neptune conjunct your Saturn. Neptune, when Neptune comes around and does these aspects to planets in our chart, it can create a lot of because let's just talk about the fact that Neptune is in Pisces and it's home sign of Pisces. So this is going to activate your intuition, your creativity, your compassion, your heart space. And with Saturn also in Pisces in your fourth house, there's, Saturn in the fourth house can also be, there's a kind of like a seriousness to your childhood. People that I think, Saturn in Pisces is interesting because Saturn rules, it's like the father figure. It rules responsibility and discipline. And so those things we attach to like the father figure, the masculine energy, but more father than masculine. It's more of like a wise sage than masculine itself, but it's the father, right? But you have it in Pisces, which means that you have a way of being compassionate with this energy. And with Neptune conjuncting your Saturn right now, this is activating your ability to to use your emotions, to use your compassion, to use that energy that you pull from the divine source, which is what Pisces is. It's the world of the beyond, and to use it very responsibly in your life. That's one of the things that this could be affecting. But Neptune is activating your intuition. Saturn also rules the 10th house of career, but he's in your 4th house, which is interesting. So he brings your focus to home more than anything else. Let's see what else I see. Right now you've got a lot transiting your 6th house. Interesting. So your 2nd house, your 6th house, and your 10th house, which is it's actually there's a connection here that is angular in a sense, but angular meaning that it kind of, these 3 houses are related. It's like 2 is work, 10 is career, or 2 is finances, 6 is work, and 10 is career. These 3 houses are actually getting pretty powerfully activated right now. Work is hella slow, and yes, I've been like clearing my possessions, declared so much. Okay, yeah, exactly. So that will, yeah, those are things that can manifest from this like Pluto, Jupiter energy in your 2nd house. But the 6th house, which is work and also being in the present moment, this makes sense that work is slow because Uranus is in Taurus, kind of, it's like a slow moving energy. Taurus can tend to be, it's a fixed earth sign, so it moves really slow. It's like the bull. It's like strong like bull. It doesn't move. And Tauruses can be kind of, I'm sure you know, you have a sun in Taurus. So Taurus can be stubborn sometimes. But with Uranus transiting your 6th house, he's asking you actually to, you're building a whole new world for yourself in terms of work. So of course, I mean, work is obviously probably slow for a lot of people. But generally, for years to come, you're going to be building yourself up in this realm of finances, work, and career. And that's kind of what I see that's really affecting you. Then in your relationships, you've got North Node transiting your 7th house, South Node transiting your 1st. So you're learning to trust your relationships more. You're learning to be in relationship with other people more than you ever have before in your life. And that will soon transition into being able to communicate with other people in relationships in a way that you haven't maybe been before. You have, well, Venus in Gemini is also transiting your 7th house of relationships. So that is, that's very, very interesting because Venus is going to go retrograde very soon. And it's going to be kind of gnarly. And it's transiting your 7th house of relationships. So just get ready for a lot of kind of changes to occur in your relationship house. I received a channeling, was told I shouldn't even be working such a 3D job. I had a spiritual awakening again, strong as hell. I'm realizing I should be a healer. I'm just not ready to leave work. Well, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's not. So when we come, so we have to have a way to make money, right? We have to have a way to survive. And a lot of people, when they're just coming into what they're doing, they still they hold on to the whole financial aspect. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to discover what it is that you really want to do in these next few years, and you're going to learn to do that for money. You're very capable when it comes to your presence. You have a very strong presence in front of other people. and in career and stuff. So you have to use that to your advantage. You also have Mars and Leo right there. So the best kind of career for you would be one where you can shine. You can shine really bright, and where you can be like kind of like the boss in a way. And that's kind of what I see mostly going on for you right now. I hope that gives you some clarity. Let's switch back to me. Bring this down again. So we have Stephanie next. And I think I'm going to close the list now. Patricia should be the last one. Let me just double check just in case. Yeah, Patricia's the last one, so we're going to close the list. I met what I believe is my twin soul, and it taught me so much about being with people. Yeah. That'll do it. Yeah, exactly, Deidre. Venus is transiting my 10th house. A friend from way back popped up and helping my career. Nice. It's so funny that you say that, Jack. My past life's greatest pain was in that area and one wasn't allowed to shine. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, you also have, well, South Node in Taurus. You have your sun kind of close to your South Node. They're both in the same house, so that can make life feel like you're moving forward and then you keep getting thrown back. That can do that a little bit too. You're welcome. So we've got Stephanie and then Patricia, and I can't. I think you posted your question, Stephanie, but I can't remember what it was. If you guys haven't signed up for the astrology class, the module 1, the basics of astrology, happening on Tuesday, May 5th, when the nodes switch into Gemini and Sagittarius, make sure you sign up. It's only $33. It's an ongoing course, but each module is sold separately. You don't have to commit to all of them. You can just sign up for one at a time, and each of them are $33. So there's a link in the description of the video. I'm going to make a video tomorrow, so make sure you join me tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern to talk about astrology, the importance of astrology in the Aquarian age, and why study astrology at all. Why is it so important right now? And why is tropical astrology important right now? We're going to talk about all of that as we get closer to our class, which I'm like super excited about. So here we go, 2 more readings. There is some energy, strange energy within my connection to an Aquarius. Could you please request some clarity? Okay. Yes. Yes, I can. So what does Stephanie need to know right now regarding this Aquarius? What does Stephanie need to know right now regarding this Aquarius? Two of Swords. There's a decision that needs to be made. Someone's indecisive. Someone can't make up their mind. 7 of Crystals. This is the time for you to pause and listen and pay attention to what are you choosing? What are you choosing for yourself? Or are you moving forward in the right direction? You have to just take a moment to stop and like inventory what you're doing with your life. And is this really what you want? You did get the 7 of Swords, which means Whoa. So what is your intuition of this energy? I'm going to ask you that. What's your intuition? What's the strange energy that you're feeling? What does your intuition tell you about it? There's a lot going on over here, and it doesn't look that good. So I want to know what your intuition tells you, to see if this is where to take this, which direction to kind of go with it. That's why I'm wondering about that. That he is hiding something. Okay. Yeah, that's what that's what I'm seeing here. So let me show you the cards that we got. So the first one that I did mention is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is like, you can't make up your mind, right? You can't figure it out. There's something that you have to choose, and it's this way or this way, but you can't choose both either. Someone's not making up their minds. And the reason I'm thinking that maybe this has to do with there could be another person involved in this situation, like what we call a third party, because there's the Three of Cups. Someone else that is in the picture that you may not know about, that is affecting the energy here. There's also this oppression card, which is interesting. This is almost like there is something hidden. This person is veiled as well, so they can't quite see the whole truth. So this is going to be about listening to your intuition, telling you, you know, what's really going on. Now, if something's being hidden and not being expressed, it could be that there's fear, because the oppression card is about fear as well. There could be fear attached to this, meaning that the Aquarius that you're talking about could just not be able to share, maybe not be ready to share what's happening, but it's kind of intense, it's kind of heavy what's going on. These two cards are interesting. The Seven of Crystals is one of them, and then also the Six of Crystals right in a row. Now the Pentacle cards are all about like manifesting abundance. This is about the money, this is about the material possessions. The Six of Pentacles is meaning that you're actually reaping the rewards, like you're doing good, it's coming in. This is a time for you to pause and contemplate where you're actually headed. And then the Six of Pentacles is charity, giving, generosity, you know, like the philanthropist. It's like, it's giving away, right? It's like, I see you in a place where you're ready to move out into the world and to share your gifts with the world, but somehow it's like there's some kind of weird energy, which is the Seven of Swords, which is, it's not deception, but it's like something's being taken for granted. Like there's something being taken for granted, or being taken from you. You're not, it's like you're not being appreciated because someone's like trying to get out with a clean slate. Like pretend that everything's okay and somehow it's going to be perfect. And the Three of Cups tells me that it could possibly be like some other person involved that maybe you don't know about. It doesn't necessarily have to be like another romantic thing, but there's something going on with someone that maybe you're not aware of, and that's why he's not able to tell you or she's not able to tell you, and so they are hiding it from you. They're like trying to get away with something. That's what this means. And the last card is the Page of Wands, which is actually a message of growth and courage. So through this situation, you're learning how to become stronger. You're learning how to, maybe the situation is actually teaching you how to trust, because this person resembles a trustworthy person, a trustworthy friend. So it's a little bit of like a mixed bag. And that's why I think the Two of Swords, it's like, it can be this really crazy thing, or it can be this like not so crazy thing. His cousin, my good friend, has been very distant as him. Okay, so something's going on for sure. I think your intuition is right on. Something's going on. You know what? When you take the time to sit with it, you'll know what if the right approach is to just ask about it. Because sometimes if we just ask about it, it's like, if we just say, you know, I'm just feeling a little bit like something's not right, and I would like to know if I'm, you know, correct or not in my intuition. Sometimes approaching it like that is a good idea, because it opens up the door to be able to like share what's really happening. Sometimes people don't know how to even go there, you know. She doesn't talk to me or make eye contact. Yeah, so you're going to have to make that choice of whether you want to approach it directly or whether you just want to move on from it. But there is something is going on. Your intuition is right. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope that helped you. And now we've got Patricia again. And this is our last reading for the nights. Oh, that's what Z said? You would confront bravely? Yeah, sometimes you need to do that. You need to just like go in there, you know? Brave, you know, go in there despite any fear, you know, you may have about it. And you might find that people don't want to open up, and that's fine. But that's why you're the one that has to make the decision. Like, there's a decision that has to be made here. It's affecting you very strongly. In order to make a decision, you got to know the whole truth. But if the truth is not being offered, then you have to just make the decision. You know what I mean? Communication should never be looked at the wrong way, unless there's something that you're not letting yourself see, something you're hiding from yourself, something that you're not seeing. Communication should be a welcomed thing, you know, in healthy relationships. In unhealthy relationships, if the relationship is unhealthy, it's not really worth even, you know, unless both people are willing to be there and be present for each other and like actually talk about stuff, then it's not worth it. In my eyes, anyways. Of 1961, 2:58 p.m. Sitka, Alaska. I sure can. This is going to be a good one. June 21st. almost there. You're welcome. Hello, Venus. So I'm pulling up Patricia's chart right now. We're going to do this reading for her for the eclipse. Back to the same old, same old. So you should be able to see your chart. And then this is for, I ran this chart for June 20, it's actually June 20th, 2021. Almost at 11:48 p.m. That's the exact moment of the eclipse. So let's see. This eclipse is a north node eclipse, so it's a new moon solar eclipse. It means the sun and the moon are conjunct, and they are conjunct in Cancer. They're also conjunct with the north node. It's not an exact conjunction, but they're very close. It's just 1 degree apart, so they really are conjunct. This is activating for the collective, this is our heart space. This is us one more time connecting to what we truly want and desire in our hearts. Now, what you truly want and desire in your life has, in this case for you personally, is you have to ask yourself, what do I want in terms of money? What do I want in terms of possessions? What do I want in terms of my relationship with the material world? It's like you're asking yourself this one last time before you embark on a different journey, because the North Node is going to be traveling through your first house. And that's going to be more of a focus on you personally, on your own self-development, on your identity, on your who you feel, your own personal growth. That's the focus that it's going to move into. So for now, this is actually asking you, how do you feel about life when it comes to the realm of finances? Let me see what else I can see on this day. And you do have that Pluto-Jupiter conjunction happening in your 9th house of spiritual integration. So there's a lot of change. Like we were just doing a reading for you on like the transition from the volunteering for that no one dies alone thing. And look at this, you've got Pluto and Jupiter conjuncting, in your 9th house of spiritual integration. And Pluto is like literally death. And this is like in your spiritual house. This is quite interesting that we're seeing this in your chart right now. So this part of your life, spiritual, the spiritual part of life, you're having some kind of a spiritual awakening in a sense. And you're being drawn to something different. The universe is like, it's calling you, like it's calling you. You're also going through your, if I could erase it, I can't because my thing's not working, but you're going through your second Saturn return. This is the year of your second Saturn return. So it's the next evolutionary period where we grow up again. It's like the next maturing of the human being. This is pretty big stuff happening for you, Patricia. It's quite exciting. See what else I see. That's the main stuff. You have some pretty crazy alignments though. You've got Aries and Taurus intercepted in your 12th house. Like, wow, Pisces at the cusp. That's a lot of 12. Like your 12th house is huge. You have a like a big door open to the universe, and there's a lot going on. And it is in Pisces, and it's like home sign. And Neptune right now is also in Pisces, so he's helping to strengthen your intuition in this aspect. So that's pretty much what I see. That's what's happening for you. So I hope that helped you out. I hope that was what you were looking for. Yeah, it's pretty big stuff. Cool. Well, thank you. That was a cool reading to do. Thank you, Patricia. So thank you guys so much for being here, for hanging out with me. Remember to check out the Module 1 Aquarian Astrology course that begins on Tuesday. We have Module 1, and then you sign up for each module individually. You don't have to commit to all of them, but come try the first class out and see how you like it. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow in a live, so join me tomorrow evening. I'm going to let you guys go and go get some rest myself. Thank you everyone that signed up for a reading. You will be entered into win in May for the May drawing. Sure need help with my intuition. Oh yeah, you're welcome. You too. Have a great weekend. So all of these names are going into the jar for this month for May, and I know I'm really excited too. And yes, I'll see you guys tomorrow here on the channel. I'll create a video for you guys to be able to link to. So thank you so much. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you, Wendy and Shannon and Deidre, for being here and moderating, and Rebecca, who was in here as well earlier. Thank you guys so much for your presence, and I will see you again tomorrow. Sat Nam.